Hey guys, this is Brian Davis with Not Another Real Estate Investing Podcast. Just want to talk about a very valuable tip and tool to use to save money when you're going to resell your properties. It's called a flat fee MLS listing. And this is when you list your property on the MLS with a real estate agent for a flat fee, as opposed to paying somebody the full commission. So this is what we do out of state whenever we sell a property. Whenever we're not licensed anywhere to sell a property, we'll just pay a flat fee. We'll list a property. We'll still pay a commission to the agent that brings the buyer, but we won't pay a full listing side of the commission. We don't do this in Connecticut because I'm a real estate broker in Connecticut, so it's unnecessary. But in other states, this is what we do. We find somebody that's local to a MLS board, local to a market, that offers out a flat fee MLS listing. We call them, let them know that we'd like to list, and they give us the information. We send them back photos, and we get it set up. And then basically, we represent ourselves in the transaction, and they send any leads they get to us directly. And when an agent wants to show a property on through the MLS, then they're going to contact us directly instead of going through the listing agent. And the way that real estate commissions work, just a quick background on that. If somebody charges you 6% to sell your property, they're going to keep 3%, and they're going to offer out 3%. Typically, they're going to offer out 3% or half the commission to an agent that brings the buyer to the property and sells the property to their buyer. So you're basically splitting the commission. Somebody represents the seller, which is the listing agent. Somebody represents the buyer, which is the buyer's agent or the selling agent. And in our case, when we do a flat fee MLS listing, the listing agent on the front end, instead of taking their 3%, they're going to take a flat fee of, say, $300 or $400, $200 sometimes. It depends on the market, the price of properties, and what somebody's willing to do. It's all negotiable. And you'll pay them up front that fee. And then what happens is the property gets listed on the MLS, and the 3% gets offered out to the seller's agent. So you're basically cutting your commission in half. You're going from 6% to 3%, and you're adding that flat fee of $200, $300, or $400, whatever it is. And the nice part about this is that if you were to sell it to somebody that represented themselves, say, you wouldn't pay a commission, that other 3%, to the other agent on that. And it would just be whatever you had paid for that flat fee to get listed. And the nice part about the MLS is that once you're on the MLS, you're typically on Trulia, Zillow, Realtor.com, everywhere on the internet. There's a million different websites that take their data from the MLS, put it onto their websites, and make it available to the public. So that's the best place to be. If you're selling a property, you want to be on the MLS. You do not want to go for sale by owner. And typically, if you can represent yourself and you're smart enough to be able to schedule agents to show the property, and you can look through it, and you can understand what they're presenting to you in terms of an offer, and you could represent yourselves in terms of inspections and that sort of thing, then I think that's the best way to go. If you're new to the business and you have no clue, you might want to get a good real estate agent to represent you. In a particular state, you can have many different MLS systems that the real estate agents use. When you're selling a property, you want to make sure the MLS that you're going to be using for your flat fee MLS listing is local to the area of your property. So if your property is in, say, Phoenix, and there's another town in Arizona that's maybe 100 miles away, you're going to want to make sure that the MLS system that you put your property into services Phoenix directly, and that the majority of the MLS of the properties on the market are in that MLS system. And you're going to want to ask the agent when you call for that flat fee MLS listing service, you're going to want to figure out what is the MLS in this area. You could call a few realtors in the area and ask them what's the main MLS system that you use, and then make sure that your property goes directly into that MLS system so that it's local. If you end up listing your property, you'll get into Zillow and Realtor and all those other places, but you won't be in the local MLS, which is the most valuable place to be, because typically buyers, agents sell properties, and that's just the best way to get things done. So make sure it's local to that board. I just wanted to add that in there at the end. But yeah, that's it. Flat fee MLS listing. If you're ever looking in Connecticut, you could hit me up. I could probably help you out on that. I might not be $200, but we could work something out. That's about all I got today. Check out the podcast, Not Another Real Estate Investing Podcast. Check out the YouTube videos. Please provide feedback, comments, and if you want to hear me talk about something else other than what I've already got on the channel, let me know, ask me, and I'll try to hit it for you. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. See you.